Well, absolutely. The dogs are allowed.
Okay.
You're going onto the property of a transportation facility, and the owners or the managers of that transportation facility can run security as they see and additional security as needed. A lot of times you won't see the dogs in the front. They'll be more in the background, behind the doors where luggage comes through. But in your case, you happen to have the opportunity to actually experience that.
Absolutely. Okay, so now I get to the security line, which I have to say was very long, and I would assume that was a direct result of the attempted Christmas bombing.
Sure.
And now I'm asked to, let's go through what I'm asked to do, right? Which we all know. First, remove our shoes, right? Do I have to remove my shoes if I don't want to remove my shoes?
Absolutely. If you want to get on that plane, you're going to have to follow those regulations.
All right, so the shoes come off, and now the laptop and any type of electronic device comes out of the carry-on into a separate bin that you put through I guess the X-ray machine.
That's correct.
Am I correct? Have no choice about that as well, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, so there's no negotiation going through.
Correct.
Now you go through the magnetometer, right? And there's a buzzes, okay? Full pat down ensues. This didn't happen to me, but let's say it did.
Right.
Okay, tell me, is this allowed? Can I request a particular person to pat me down? Can I do this in a room away from everybody else? What are my rights there?
Yeah, absolutely. You can request, obviously, someone of your own sex to check you. Male for male, female for female. Okay. And you can also request to be taken off to the side. Right now, most of the areas where they do the pat-downs are still in the open public, behind clear glass. You can ask to be brought to a separate room, so you're not seen.
Well, let me ask you. I mean, we're going through a lot of these security procedures. I mean, how secure are we? I mean, what do you think at this point? What is your opinion regarding airport security?
We're pretty secure. We are pretty safe. Fortunately, with the media and the information that gets out there, it seems that there's a lot of things going on, but we are safe. Let's take, for instance, JFK Airport in Queens. Over 47 million passengers went through there in 2008. You don't hear of too many incidents. They do a good job, the TSA. They have a lot to do. They have a lot on their plate. They need more staffing to help with the amount of people that come through here. But we are safe, but we can always do better. Okay,
well, now the big thing now is those machines, which apparently are in the news. The full body scanning machines, where you put your arms out. Okay. How many machines are there, by the way?
There's currently in the United States, in U.S. airports, as per the TSA, 19 that are being used, with more to come.
Okay. And are they buying more? Are they expensive? Am I going to see a lot of these?
These machines can run anywhere from $175,000 upwards.
Okay, so they're expensive machines.
They are expensive.
Right. Now, okay, so let's say instead of going through the magnetometer, I'm actually asked to go through one of these screening machines. Can I decline?
No.
Can't decline?
You can't decline.
Okay. Now, I've seen what comes up on these machines.
Yes.
I mean, you really lose a sense of privacy. There's nothing you can say to say, look, I don't want to go through. Can you say you have a health condition? Can that prevent you from being able to go through, or not really?
It may, depending on what your health condition is, and then you can go through a pat-down, a physical pat-down.
Let's say, okay, because here's an issue, because I've had somebody raise this, actually. Pregnant woman, she's going through. Doesn't want the X-ray to go through them, or doesn't want to have to go through this particular machine because doesn't know exactly, what type of radiation or whatever is going through.
Sure.
Can she decline?
She could decline and ask also for a pat-down. From what the TSA is reporting, these machines are only giving out less radio waves than the cell phones that we carry on our waists, that we have by our ears all the time. So from what we're being told, it is very safe.
Okay. Well, at least the good thing is, from what you seem to be suggesting, is I think these things are helping us. I think there's a lot of fear in the media, but I think you'd agree that we seem to be fairly safe.
Absolutely, and they are helping us.
Well, we're going to talk. I want to get back to you because we're going to talk more about it. But at this point, the staff at Bronx Legal actually went to the streets to find out what you think about the recent tightening of airport security measures. Specifically, are these measures worth the sacrifice? Let's take a look.
If I'm going to fly a plane, I need to be afforded all the security that you can give me. I'm worried about getting from point A to point B. I have no complaint with them putting their hands on anybody, searching anybody on a plane. If you're going to fly a certain airline, fine. If there's a disrobing station that you can bring a person to, make them open up their clothing. As the last bomber that you saw, the gentleman was wearing underwear that was laced with what? Okay? You're not going to find that unless you're going to go ahead and search a person.
You never can be too safe when you're traveling. I think anything should go because you want to arrive safely, and I think the airports aren't going too far because you want to get somewhere safe and alive. So whatever measures they need to take, I think they need to do it.
It's a fine line. It can go too far. We got to be careful that we don't impose on our civil liberties, because at the end of the day, we are supposed to be a free country. But overall, I would say that they are doing a good job.
I think that the airport security is really, really needed. It's very important, and I don't mind how much they have to search me, because it's for my own safety. About getting up during the flight, it happens that I'm disabled, so during the flight I have to get up and stretch my legs sometimes. So I guess they would consider that. But
we are still a free country. I appreciate the security and all that, but you're not going to tell me I cannot use the bathroom. When a woman says she wants to use the bathroom, she's going to use the bathroom. There's no law you're going to stop her from using the bathroom. Give us the right that we deserve.
You know, we find some of the most passionate people, I want you to know, on the streets, as you can tell. And one woman was talking a little bit about your ability to get up out of your seat, because we really didn't talk a little bit about that. Let's review the rules for people who are a little bit afraid. Okay. Can you, or are you forced to stay in your seat during the last hour of, let's say, a domestic flight?
Well, right now it's the option of the pilot. And that pilot can let everyone know that it is enforced or it's not being enforced. The best thing to do, hit your call button and ask the flight attendant.
And it just depends on the personality of the pilot, is what you're telling me.
Absolutely. But they're going to be reasonable. If someone needs assistance, they need to use the restroom, or they need something because they're handicapped or disabled, they will make sure it happens.
Okay. Also, there seems to be some type of rule about not being able to hold something on your lap, a book to read or something. What is...
Correct.
What is that all about?
Well, what they're trying to stop is any other efforts, people who are actually making it on the plane and might be able to put a device together, whether it be an explosive device, whether it be a firearm that could cause a catastrophe during the flight.
Now you also, I mean, you have some experience. You were also you're a policeman as well. You were a lieutenant, am I correct?
That's correct.
Okay. What, in terms of your own experience in law enforcement, what have you seen in terms of your ability to stop these types of incidents from occurring?
Well, people are very smart, and people that want to get something on or get something past security will try in many different ways. I have seen weapons secreted in the body, okay, hidden in the groin area, small weapons that could get past a hand or a vision check, but is capable of causing a severe injury.
What kind of weapons are we talking about?
Talking about a firearm,
okay,
a small firearm about the size of our cup here, that could cause serious damage or actually kill someone.
And you've seen that?
That's correct.
Now, how do they find this? How are they finding this on the person, or how are they?
Well, in my experience, we find them during our pat downs. Okay. And you know, we do very methodical pat downs, as I'm sure the TSA is doing, but they're also limited to as how far they can go on their pat downs.
It's almost like a cat and mouse game in some respects.
It absolutely
is. They're always trying to get one step ahead, and you have to be one step ahead.
That's absolutely correct.
Any advice you would give somebody who is going to an airport, as I went to the airport over the weekend? What would you say with respect to airport security? What could I do to make sure that, you know, I'm not frustrated, I understand what's going on? Any tips, any advice you want to give? Absolutely,
and it's the same thing I do when I go to the airport, is I prepare myself before I even get online. And that means not carrying metal objects that you don't need during the flight, okay, watches, having your shoelaces out and ready to go, your shoes off for when you get to security.
Maybe those slip-in shoes.
Absolutely, those are nice and quick. And it's those little things that'll make the frustration level for everybody go down just a little bit more.
Well, those are good tips, I have to say. You know, flying is not the best experience in the world, but I think it's something we all have to do.